use your hands. I don't want to see knife and fork or any spoons or anything like that. But fufu and okra, it's my favorite. So that's why I just preach that it needs to be tried.
Welcome to Black Food Tales, episode 11, and I'm joined by my lovely guest,
Joe Faulkner from the Krio Kanteen. Thank you for having me.
Good stuff. Tell us a bit about your backstory, your synopsis. Tell us about Krio Kanteen.
Okay, cool. So the Krio Kanteen is a Sierra Leonean pop-up, and I focus on bringing Sierra Leonean food to a larger audience, but also promoting West African culture and food. So it's not just about the food, it's also about promoting the positive sides of our culture. And that's simply because there's so much negative press. We all know the bad things that happen in Africa and West Africa. And it's up to us to change the narrative and promote the good things. So food is part of that. And the culture too.
So when you say bad things, for those perhaps that aren't aware, do you mind sharing like what?
So if you were to switch on your TV at any given time, I'm sure you'd see a charity advert asking for money, children who look hungry, suffering, and like that is a part of the African experience, but it's not the only part of the African experience. And I just feel like if all of these people who have the money and the resources are not going to tell a different story, then it's down to us. And like when I first started, I felt a bit weird about doing it because I am born and raised in the UK, but proud of my Sierra Leonean heritage. And that's been instilled in me, like through my family. But I just felt that maybe I didn't have the experience to talk about these things or promote. But then I quickly just thought, no, you can do it in your way that's authentic to your experience. And that's basically what I'm doing. Like the food is the food I grew up with in my house. The stories are ones that I either heard or experienced myself from trips to Sierra Leone. So it's an authentic experience. It's mine. So it's, I just feel as though when I was growing up, there was a war in Sierra Leone, and I was here, and I was probably about 13 at the time. And we'd hear like stories and see videos, and it was sad and it was painful. And at the time, being a young boy from London in the type of school that I went to, our friends would try and find a way to get one up on you. To them, it was a joke. And maybe at the time I didn't realize how serious it was, but a war's no joke. It's not something to laugh about.
100%.
And I just remember that the pride that my family had instilled in me never wavered, even during those experiences. And so as I got older, I was like, okay, like maybe, I don't know, kids may experience the same things now, but it's time for us to like promote the positives, and make people proud, so that they don't feel like they have to cower or be shy about their background and their history and their culture, and probably find out things that they never knew. I think that's an important thing as well, because you only get to hear a certain side of the story, and you just need to use every platform possible to kind of change that narrative, because it's annoying, to be honest with you. That's how I feel about it.
So I guess tell us about like what you've been up to recently that you've been involved in.
Cool. So a few weeks ago we had a supper club. I haven't actually done a supper club in a while, and it's a shame because that is my favorite thing to do. That's where I get to incorporate everything that I've just spoken about.
Sure.
So in a supper club, for those that don't know, the way that I do it is I hire a venue, take over the kitchen, we'll prepare a 3-course Sierra Leonean meal, and then we'll invite entertainers to come along, other business people to come along to promote what they do. So it's a whole cultural experience. So you get your 3-course meal with your ticket, and then there'll be poetry, live music. So we've got amazing talent in British Sierra Leoneans. So I invited them to come along, say some poetry, sing, show off their designs. It was an amazing experience. And that was the last thing that I did. Next, I have a first. It's something I've not done before, so I'm a bit nervous about that. But next week, Sunday, we have our first food party.
Okay.
So it's like, it's really a day party, like a summer day party. There'll be a barbecue.
Okay.
There'll be a taster session. There'll be live music, Afro beats. It's like a whole experience, but it's a party. The essence is like taking me back to my childhood. When on the weekend we'd go to like a family party, there'd be loads of food there, music, and you just be there till the AM. And the parents were cool with that, and that's how we got down. That was like the way we celebrated birthdays, any kind of celebration. That was what we did.
Sure.
So it's incorporating those experiences from my childhood and kind of creating something new. And we chose, Salon Food Hub is the people that I'm collaborating with. We chose to do it outside of London.
Okay.
Based on a few reasons, but mainly because Africans are not only in London, and it's not just for Africans, it's open to everyone, but like, I feel we're very spoiled in London. We have so much choice.
Okay.
Like everything is here for us. We don't need to travel anywhere. And sometimes it's like, let's take the show on the road. Like there are other people who want to see these things, experience these things. So I know Luton's not the furthest place.
No,
it's just an hour outside London. But still, it's just testing the waters and seeing how it goes down. Because one day, hopefully, I want to take it nationally. I want people to be able to experience this throughout the UK and in Sierra Leone. But yeah, so this is so next Sunday will be the first time doing something like this.
Amazing.
And if you are interested, you can get tickets on Eventbrite. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, please do. I'm just thinking about the timing of when this will go out. I'd try and maybe put it out.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll put up a clip.
Okay.
So yeah, please actually go support. Actually was lucky enough to go to your supper club.
You did. Yeah.
I snuck out a menu. Don't know if I was allowed to. But,
Yeah, no, it was for you. Don't worry.
I like the touch that my name was actually on there.
Yeah, we wanted to personalize it.
Yeah. So one thing that really a few things that really struck me about I guess yourself and the brand and everything that you put in together. One, I kind of felt what you're doing about bringing people together, like having like the poets there and the artists and just bringing people together around that setting, I think embodies Black Food Club because as the name says, you're invited about bringing people together. So I think your message resonates with my own and hopefully the audiences could cross-pollinate and hopefully bring some attention to your supper clubs. I definitely recommend it. You went like all out, like there were banana leaves on the table. I love those. What were they like? Is it on here? Like those sugar biscuit things. What was that?
Was it the first thing?
It was like just on the table. What was that?
Oh, fine. So that's what we call it, coconut cake. It's like coconut biscuits.
Yeah.
So again, bringing back my childhood because we didn't grow up in Sierra Leone, but every time someone went to Sierra Leone, they would bring back them.
Okay.
And like me and my brother, we would not wait for people to unpack their suitcases. We'd just be straight at them. Where are they? So I just wanted to be like people. It was a kind of a surprise. It wasn't on the menu or anything, but it was just nice that people got to have a little taster. And these are things that like are so common in Sierra Leone. Like everyone loves them. But again, when you're bringing it to a new audience, even the smallest things they'll really appreciate because
100%.
They've never had them before.
I have to say those things were addictive. I kept nibbling. They were very, very nice. Why don't you take us through the menu and just talk a bit? Do you mind talking a bit about the dishes and things like that? I don't want to butcher the names when I say them.
No problem. To be honest with you, I wouldn't worry too much because I butcher Krio anyway.
Okay.
So a lot of Sierra Leoneans laugh at the way I say things, so don't worry about that. But so the first thing on the menu now, this rice Akara is it's like a fritter, like a banana fritter. We make them into balls. Has nutmeg in it, banana, sugar. It's like a sweet thing.
Those are nice. I like those.
Now, I think for a Western palate, they would probably expect that to be a dessert or at the end of. But in Sierra Leone, we eat that with like our main meal. So I thought that would be like a nice starter. And then we had the rice akara with the sweet pepper sauce, which is just something that I make myself, just incorporating flavors that we would use in our food anyway. We don't, not always, but we usually have rice akara with some kind of sauce or dip. So this was my dip, my take on the sauce. Again, it's a Sierra Leonean favorite.
Sure.
Now, I don't know the full history behind it, but because of the history of Sierra Leone, what I think rice akara's history is that akara is a Nigerian dish.
Okay.
And they make it with beans.
Okay.
Okay. And we make the same thing too.
Sure.
Because of the slaves that came from Nigeria to Freetown, I think that's how the journey happened with the food. However, rice akara is made with banana and sugar and nutmeg. And it's a sweeter version of the bean version.
Okay.
Now, I don't think, and I may be wrong, please correct me, but I don't think that Nigerians have the banana version.
Okay.
So I think that was like a kind of Sierra Leonean creation.
Sure.
And kind of inventing this and just mixing up the ingredients a little bit to create something new. So yeah. Again, one of my favorites. I love rice akara.
I was just watching the way you answered that because I realized that as I've started this journey, some people are very passionate around food to the point of almost like religion.
Yeah. That's why
when they want to protect it.
I'm so careful.
So I was just interesting watching you navigate.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Like, I don't want to offend anybody.
Of course,
it's just my understanding. I know that like I've tried to learn certain things.
Sure.
So sometimes you piece together things, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. I'm just saying what I think it could be.
True.
So yeah, don't quote me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
It's interesting because on that note, so one thing I'm planning to do is I want to do a documentary about the origins of jollof.
Okay.
Actually, I want to take out some time and literally like explore. I guess mainly West Africa, just to find out the history, go to the different countries, and, film that kind of thing. Call me naive, but it was just this morning when I was looking up like the kinds of food that you have. I found jollof is there as well. Because if you answer or speak to certain people, you only think it's from Ghana or Nigeria, but it's not. There's so many other countries that you find jollof as well.
I mean, my understanding, again, novice understanding here, but I think I'm just letting people know, just putting that out there. I think that jollof originated in Senegal, Gambia region. And I remember I was in Gambia in 2008, so quite a while ago, but they have something called Benachin. Yeah. And I think that's where it originated, but then it spread across West Africa and everyone's kind of got their own take on it.
What you just said is my understanding as well.
Cool.
So, but hey, I could be wrong. I'm sure we'll have some keyboard warriors or kind people enough to correct us.
If we're wrong, please correct us.
Yeah, by all means. This is a conversation. Everybody's involved.
Exactly.
So yeah, back to the menu.
Yes.
So I think we're on the main side. Is that cassava leaf sauce?
So in Sierra Leone, we have certain leaf dishes that we call plasas.
Plasas.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I don't know what the meaning is.
Okay.
But they're usually made with palm oil.
Okay.
And they are like the staple foods of Sierra Leone. Like, it's very difficult to find a Sierra Leonean that does not like plasas.
Okay.
And one of the types of plasas is cassava leaf.
Okay.
And now in Sierra Leone, this is like considered the national dish.
Okay.
This is like the nation's favorite. Now, I'm going to upset some people because I am Sierra Leonean, but cassava leaves is not my favorite plasas. And to say that to another Sierra Leonean, they get upset.
Sure.
But this is like, if you go to Sierra Leone, you will eat cassava leaves at least one time. Like, you'll go to someone's house, they will offer it to you. It is the nation's favorite.
Okay.
So I hadn't, up until this supper club, had cassava leaves on the menu, and I was dying to put it on. Because if you want people to have like an authentic, true taste of Sierra Leone, then you've got to have this at some point. So,
do you think it's important to be authentic?
So that's a very good question. yes and no.
Okay.
That's my answer. Simply because the reason why I say that is because I grew up in England, so my experience is different to that of Sierra Leoneans who grew up in Sierra Leone, and I want my company to reflect me in that sense. So there will be things in my menu sometimes where a Sierra Leonean will be like, "We don't eat that. I don't get that." But it's incorporating different things. It's not just, you will always have the authentic taste of Sierra Leone, but incorporated will be maybe different West African dishes or a westernized take on something. I think it's important to experiment and like just like play with things, make it a bit exciting. So yes, like I would never like mess around with, I don't know how to explain it, but it will always be a Sierra Leonean experience. Like that will always be the main thing, but there will be other aspects to it. So that's why I say yes and no. So it isn't like going to a Sierra Leonean restaurant in Peckham if you come to one of my events, because that is the true authentic way that we do things. But even down to like the way that we serve the food is not the way that we would traditionally serve it. Like in Sierra Leone, you'd have your rice and the plasas will go on top straight. Just small things like that. Maybe some people will be like, well, that's not the way we eat it. But it's like, my business is like a, I don't know how to say it. It's like my vision. And my vision is to incorporate mostly Sierra Leonean food and experiences, but with my Western understanding of things. So yes, it's important to be authentic, and I want to be true to Sierra Leone as much as I can. And it will always be at the core of what I do. So like, you won't come to an event and not see the flags, not hear the language, not hear the music. It will always be at the core, but there will be things surrounding it. And that's just because of me. That's my personal understanding. That's what I want to promote.
Because I also on that, like, again, with fusion, because I'm a foodie, like I like fusion. I like playing with food, mixing things, experimenting, because you don't know what you could discover.
Exactly.
You know, I think it's nice to have the traditional and have something else.
Yeah.
You know, again, I do find that there's certain people that like, because I've got Jamaican background.
Okay.
There's certain dishes where like, this is this.
Yeah.
You don't
mess around with
it. You don't cook it any other way. You know, there are certain things obviously that cross the line.
Yeah.
For example, like, I don't know, with Jamie and that whole jerk rice.
Yeah. That's crossing the line.
See,
that's too far. I think, but the problem is everyone's boundaries are different, right? We're all different people.
Sure.
So this is the way that I take it. This makes it easy for me to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And this is what I say to everybody. If you want something, we live in London, right? I guarantee you can find it. So if you want a truly authentic, untouched experience, you will find it somewhere. If you want that, then maybe I'm not for you. Do you understand what I mean? There's so much choice. We're spoiled for choice. So you don't want everything to be the same. That's boring. Yeah. So it's like, we could go out now, walk on the road, there'll be like 10 Italian restaurants. And they're not doing all the same thing, but they all got customers. So there's something for everybody. So like, what I'm doing may not be for everybody. I don't have a problem with that.
On that sport for choice thing, I definitely feel there are a lot of restaurants here. Like, I think food, especially like pop-ups and stuff, right? Do you think here in London we're spoiled though when it comes to like African and Caribbean cuisine?
Caribbean, I'd say yes.
Okay.
African, I'd say no. However, like, being involved in this, I'm watching it grow. Like, the industry is growing. There are a lot of amazing people doing amazing things. And it's like, at the moment, I think it's a situation where you have to be in the know. Do you understand what I mean? But once you're in the know, you know that there's a lot.
So, okay, so with that, do you have advice, or anybody listening now, look, we have international listeners as well that will come into London and they want to experience, whether it's African or food from Sierra Leone.
Do
you have any advice?
I'd say food markets are like a great place to start because a lot of the people who are starting out like me would be doing something like that. And supper clubs. Supper clubs and food markets, they give people, small businesses, people who are just starting out, a chance to like get their food out there and get new people trying it. So always be on the lookout for those kind of things. It's difficult in terms of restaurants because that's why I say we don't have a lot of choice. I don't see, in particular areas, you may find. For Sierra Leoneans, for example, if we go to South East London and like in Peckham, you will find Sierra Leonean food, but it's very difficult to find it anywhere else. So that's why I say at the moment we're not spoilt for choice, but I'm noticing, especially amongst Nigerians and Ghanaians, that like they have restaurants popping up now in places that you wouldn't expect them to pop up. So if you're telling me that there's an area where a lot of Africans live, I'd expect there to be an African restaurant. But now I'm seeing them in other places. And like, that's amazing to me. That's inspirational because they're kind of setting the path for us to follow.
Yeah, no, 100%. I like, so like there's, it's going to kill me that I don't remember the name now, but there's it will come to me. But there's a Nigerian restaurant that opened not too far from, so I'm in Northwest London. I'm in Harrow.
Okay.
There's not a lot of like African.
Is it 805?
In Hendon.
In Hendon.
The one I'm thinking of is in Finchley Road.
Okay.
Nigerian Finchley
You know
Road.
what's funny? I think that I ate their food last week.
Oh, really?
I visited somebody and they got us some food. But
You know,
now,
we got the carrot on the internet.
we can find it. We can find it.
Finchley Road, Nigerian restaurant. Anish.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the one.
Yeah. Anish. I like their food. Really, really do recommend going out to
It was good food.
Anish.
But this is what I'm saying, like Finchley Road. Like African restaurant on Finchley Road. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
And I just know, I can sense it. Like, I feel like I'm part of something that's kind of special that's happening. And if you're involved in the scene, you can kind of see the growth. Maybe for people outside of it, they're not too sure what's going on. But soon, very soon, African food will like blow, basically.
So what I was going to say, which I liked, not to turn this into a race thing, but I went in there and I saw it must have been like a birthday party or a party or something like that.
Yeah.
It's probably like 8, 9, just Indian people.
Yeah.
Having food, and I just enjoyed the fact that seeing other cultures and embracing our food, you know, kind of thing, because that's when the trend happens. It becomes more popular,
exactly.
You know, because I was in Camden the other day and I walked past, I think they had this thing they called Italian Alley or something, lots of Italian restaurants. Why is there not, you know, African Alley? Do you know what I mean?
There will be. This is what I'm saying. There will be. Sometimes you have to just understand that there are processes and different people have different processes. And like, it's our generation. For me, I look at my parents, when they came, their focus wasn't on starting any kind of business or anything like that. They had a different understanding. Our generation now, so like, we've incorporated loads of different things, loads of different experiences. We are the generation that go out to eat. My parents didn't really go to restaurants and things like that. If they wanted to see their friends, they'd go to each other's houses and things like that. We all go to restaurants, taste different foods. And then you start to get, like, you start thinking, okay, so why can't we do this? Do you understand? And I feel like that's where the changes happen. So Caribbeans have been here for a long time. Like 3-4 generations. For me, it was my parents that came. And so we're the generation that start to make those changes. It's not difficult to find a Caribbean restaurant.
No, 100%. And I think like the birth of the internet, social media and stuff is
huge,
bringing down barriers, huge. You know. Because to be honest, if it wasn't for social, our paths would never have crossed.
Yeah. If it wasn't for social, I wouldn't exist. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's another way of saying it.
I just wouldn't exist. There's nothing that I've done that I could have done that I did not have or do not have the capital to advertise or do the things that I'd need to do to reach the people that I reach via social. So like, it's funny because my personal social media is non-existent because I'm not a big social media person. However, I've realized the power for business. So I'd be nowhere without social media.
So on that, for anybody listening, because I like to give advice and where I can. Do you have any advice for anybody listening that wants to follow in your footsteps or anything?
The biggest advice I would give is, yes, you can, because I am the biggest. If there's anybody that doubts themselves, it's me. I don't think you'll find a worse person when it comes to doubting. So I had this idea a long time ago and refused to do anything about it because I just thought, I can't do it. I'm in a comfy job, and why would I risk that? And no one's gonna take it seriously. I'd find every reason not to do something. And then one day I just thought to myself, let me just try and let me see. And I'll be honest with you, the first experience that I had was a disaster.
What? Do you mind telling us some story?
Disaster. So I found a venue near my house.
Sure.
And invited like friends and family, and then tried to do a little bit of social to get some people to come. Sure. And the turnout was amazing.
Okay.
I was not prepared for that.
Okay. Sure.
I'd never done anything like that before.
Sure.
So it was like everything went wrong. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. So
anything specific that you remember?
Yeah. So the food. So oh boy. I had seasoned the chicken and everything, and it was put it in the freezer.
Okay.
Not even thinking that it has to thaw, and
Sure.
Because I'm trying to give them fried chicken.
Okay.
So on the day, and it's a cold day, and this is like a street food kind of setup. So it's not like I don't have all the equipment that you'd have in a kitchen. On the day, the rice is there, it's all fresh, freshly done. I'm like, oh, that's good. Then the stew's there, all good. I'm like, okay. And people want their chicken.
Sure.
And the chicken's not cooking. It's not thawing, it's not cooking. The first batch of chicken took ages to come out. So the people who got there early got their food. And I had about 80 people turn up that day.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
And I struggled to give them their food.
Okay.
And a lot of people just ended up with like jollof and stew and no chicken.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like, I had to apologize to everyone. And like, the big thing for me is that after that day, I know me. Yeah. After that day, usually I would have been like, I'm not doing this. I got my job. I'm cool. Let's leave this. But instead, for some reason, I don't know why, I was like, no, it's okay. I'll learn. These things will never happen again. Never will I come with frozen chicken that I cannot thaw or cook and give to people. And that's never happened again.
100%.
So, yeah.
And you know, I believe in that because the way, like, the description I've always used for, like, describing business and stuff, I think as a business owner, you're a firefighter. That's what you're doing. You're constantly putting out fires. That's the way I describe it. Yeah. So, like, even what you're talking about today, so you're actually being recorded 3 times. Yeah. So we've got one recorded there on the laptop and then another one there because I've lost audio before. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's a headache. You know, you invite a guest, you speak with them, and then you go home and there's like no audio. It's like,
and then you're thinking, do I have to call these people?
Do you know what I mean? And
they're
that's
gonna
embarrassing.
think I'm professional. Is that?
You know, so you take countermeasures and stuff, but sometimes I feel those are the lessons that make you remember.
Yeah.
Because someone can tell you, hey, you know, don't do da 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 da. It's like, oh, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Until it happens to you.
And then you not understand.
100%. So talking about like your cooking and so on, how did you get that experience? Where did you learn? Was it from family? Did you?
Yeah, so it's a bit weird because anytime I tell this to Sierra Leone, their face screws up confused because my dad was the cook in the house, and that's not normal in our culture. But his food is just bang, like, and he loved it. So like, I remember the whole kind of experience because we lived in North London, so we didn't really have any kind of like African food place that we could go to get ingredients. So it was like a whole trip for us. So we'd head out to Brixton.
So is that the best place to go for like ingredients and stuff?
Yeah, so I'd say, so now Peckham, and Dalston. So
okay.
Dalston didn't have all the stuff that we need back in the day. Now
Yeah,
it does.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and that's close by. So that's where like my family go to. But back in the day, I may be incorrect. It may just be that my dad wanted to go to Brixton. I'm not too sure. But I don't think there was anything as close to where we were in North London. So yeah, I mean Peckham, Dalston, you can get all the Sierra Leonean stuff there. And so we'd travel out to Brixton at the time to the market, pick up all the things, come back. And my dad would try to get us, we showed very little interest, by the way. But he tried to get us just to see what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, we were definitely interested in eating the food when it was done. But the process of getting it ready. But I just remember that he kind of, not force us, but make sure that we learned some little things. Because he was like, look, just in case, you know. And then what actually made me start doing it is when I moved out of my house, my family home. And then I was like, oh, I actually want this food.
Sure.
And it's not just there. Like, I can't just go and open the fridge and it's waiting for me. So then I'd be on the phone with my dad, how do you do this? And then we go step by step. And I've destroyed so many like dishes just from putting in something at the wrong time or
That's how you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's how I learned to do it.
So when you're cooking, do you have this standard of like food you cook for other people and food you cook for yourself? The only reason I say that is because like I like getting cookbooks and you know, following recipes and experimenting and stuff. Yeah. But sometimes when I'm cooking for myself, it's edible. I would never sell it, never give it to no one.
It's so funny you say this because I had this conversation yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like, people think that I eat like the kind of food that I cook.
Sure.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Because when you've been cooking for other people,
sure.
You've been in the kitchen.
You're
tired.
And you don't want to eat.
And I don't want to eat at that. I never eat. Like, this is about, you can probably see I'm very skinny. And that's just like how I naturally am. But it makes it worse because I don't eat when I'm working. Because I'm so focused on what's going on. But when I'm at home, like, because I've been in the kitchen so much, I mean, I like cooking, but I don't want to do it all the time. So we just like, my wife will make like food or like we're lucky my mother-in-law will make food or my parents will make some food. Like, I'm kind of lucky that other people make food because I just don't want to be doing the same thing that I was doing. And there's so many other things that I then need to do as well. Because as you know, running a business is not just one aspect. So like, I still need the time to do all the other things that I need to do. Yeah.
So what is it in your team? Is it just you at the minute? Do you have a team?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very, very, very lucky that I have good friends.
Okay, cool.
So I'm not in a position at the moment where I can like hire a lot of people and have a big team. So I have a lot of people who help me out, but they kind of make most things that I do.
Sure.
So I'm very lucky that I can always have somebody with me supporting. And yeah, like, so my wife helps out a lot, my friends, family. So I've got a big team of people who always help out. So, and very recently, I've just got in touch with 2 cooks who are going to be coming and working with me as well.
Okay, cool.
Because there are some, I mean, as you grow, you start to see that you get bigger and bigger events, and I can't do those things by myself. So it's exciting because I'll be working with other people too, learning things from them. They'll be learning from me, and we're doing some exciting things like 2 weddings coming up.
Amazing.
Residency at Peckham Palms, which I'm looking forward to so much because that's again something brand new to me. And it gives me an opportunity to try something that's huge. It really, for me, it's a huge thing to have a residency from, I think it's May the 10th till the beginning of June, but it's just like a huge thing. I'll be putting on events at the same time there. It's like a blank canvas for me.
Do you do a lot of weddings and stuff?
No. So as I said, this year has been like a real game changer for me. So like, I've done a few smaller things, but like this year it's like a wedding on a different scale, parties on different scales, like charity events on different, it's just all these things have kind of built up, and I think that people are seeing the good work that I'm putting in, and then you get opportunities from that afterwards. So like one, I guess, suggestion, recommendation,
There's a dude called Dean Carvey.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that.
Oh, you know the dude?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Small world.
He
Small
did
world.
my wedding.
Oh, did your wedding?
Yeah.
V&V Live, 100% recommend him as a person. So if you know the guy, recommend to connect with him because he has a community,
Cool.
especially within the African
And Caribbean.
wedding space.
Yeah.
Like he works with a lot of vendors, you know, so there may be opportunities. I don't want to put pressure on the guy, but you know, he's definitely
He's doing amazing stuff.
100%.
Amazing stuff. Amazing
100%. So like, what's the future hold?
Wow. So my ultimate goal, like the thing that I'm dreaming of, is having like a beachfront restaurant in Freetown.
Okay.
Because like, I don't know, a lot of people don't know much about Sierra Leone, and this is the other thing, gives me an opportunity to talk about Sierra Leone.
Sure.
Sierra Leone is beautiful. Like, it's something that never comes into people's minds because you hear other things, so you wouldn't think about the beauty.
Okay.
But like the beaches are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then they're not untouched, but like, I don't know, there's too much potential there.
Sure.
And like for me, just having like a Krio Kanteen on the beach, like my dream is to one day just sit out there and think, okay, I've done what I wanted to do.
Yeah, of course.
And then in England, I'd like to have a space. When I say a space, I don't want a restaurant as such, but I do want a space that's like a restaurant. I don't want to divulge too much, but a place that you can come, eat, experience the culture, basically have like a supper club experience, but every day. Do you understand what I mean? So everything that we spoke about and you saw and experienced in the supper club, but that would happen on a daily basis. That is my dream here.
Okay.
So yeah, one day that will happen.
Watch the space. You heard it here first. 100%. So to bring us full circle then, I think we're now hitting up the dessert.
Yes, yeah.
So, the dessert.
Yeah, the dessert. So the dessert again. So this comes back to a conversation that we had. This is not a truly authentic Sierra Leonean dessert. This is a westernized dessert made with Sierra Leonean or West African ingredients. So, like, we just thought, my wife and I, let's just experiment and see, because we have so many of these sweet, lovely tasting things like plantain, mango, cinnamon, things that we incorporate in a lot of other foods. But if you're talking about really Sierra Leonean, we have some like sweet things that we'll eat, but we don't have a dessert. Like to me, that's a Western thing. To sit down and have a dessert at the end of a meal, like a 3-course meal. So with that, I wanted to incorporate the Western influence in that sense and create like a cupcake. So it's a cinnamon and plantain cupcake. And I can't remember which sauce we had. Okay, yeah. So the mango sauce. And like, these are all flavors, normal flavors that we eat every day in Sierra Leone. And it's just like, I knew that they'd go in a cake. So we tried it, we incorporated it. And every time we make these things, people love them.
So curious question. In Sierra Leone, do they eat very heavy?
Yeah, we eat
Okay.
heavy.
Okay, sure.
So I think if you go to Sierra Leone, one of the main things that you'll notice, we eat a lot of rice. Maybe too much. No, not maybe. I don't want to say, I'm sorry, but we have a lot of rice.
Sure.
Morning, afternoon, evening, it will be rice with something else.
Sure.
So it's very heavy. Even the dogs eat the rice as well. They'll eat rice and plasas, like whatever's left over.
Sure.
So like it's a complete Sierra Leonean thing. But yeah, we eat heavy.
Okay, cool. No, I just obviously I've not been to Sierra Leone, but I remember from a time in Ghana, I did witness some people who may not eat the 3 meals a day, but they have like 1 or 2 heavy meals. Meals I couldn't even, like, they look too big for me. But
we like
definitely
our
heavy meals. I want to hit you with some rapid answer questions. What celebrity would you like to cook for?
Jeez, you caught me off guard there. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, okay. And what would you make him?
I'd make him my favorite dish.
Okay.
Which is fufu and okra.
Okay, cool.
So you have to get down and dirty. You need to eat with your hands. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
knife and
Sure.
fork business with
Sure,
that.
sure.
But to me, that is the greatest food ever. Like
Yeah.
nothing beats it for me.
Okay. What's your favorite midnight snack?
You know what? I've only got back into them recently, but the coconut biscuits that I had at the so after the sub club, I bought a stash for myself, and they went so quickly.
Yeah.
That I'd have to say the coconut biscuits.
Okay, cool. Is there a chef whose cooking style that you really like?
Yeah, so I like to keep it very like local. Like I'm inspired by a lot of people around me, and there's a particular girl who runs a company. She's of Jamaican background, called the Lime Hut, and
Okay.
her food is banging.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's a healthy take on Caribbean food.
Sure.
And it's not just the way that she cooks the food and everything. Like she's just an inspiration and a very nice person at that as well. So like always willing to give advice, and because you realize that like you're constantly learning in this game. You never know everything, and there's people who have done more, you know, seen more, and some of them are very willing to like give advice. And she is one of those people in particular. So I'd have to say Afia of the Lime Hut.
Amazing. What's your favorite restaurant?
That is a good question. There are quite a few, man.
I throw it out there. It doesn't have to be like from Sierra Leone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, cool.
So I can't say my favorite. I don't know what my favorite is. I cannot think off the top of my head.
All right,
because I like so many different cuisines.
If we had to go right now.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. We're going to go grab some lunch.
Okay, right now. Right. Okay, there's a Spanish place that is close to where we used to live.
Okay.
And we only discovered it like as we were about to move.
Sure.
And when I had their food, it's not like it's a little twist on Spanish food.
Yeah.
But the food was just banging.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Any dish you recommend?
They had a dish, and I can't even remember.
Was it the paella?
It wasn't the paella.
Okay.
It's like a starter dish.
Okay.
And I'd order like more than
Sure.
just because it was so good.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name of the restaurant. I can't remember the name.
What
of
area
it.
is it again?
It's like Vauxhall. So Battersea. Boquera is the name of the restaurant.
Okay, cool.
And like, yeah, the food was just so nice.
Amazing.
So nice. And I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know much about Spanish food, but
Sure.
we went there and we loved it.
Okay, cool. Define good food.
That is difficult. I mean, food that's made with love. I feel like some places you go is strictly for the money. So they're banging out food like just like you're in a factory.
Yeah,
basically.
basically. Yeah.
And to me, that's not good food.
Sure.
So like, I feel, I can only speak from personal experience. I feel that when I'm making dishes for people to eat, I'm making it with my background in mind, my family in mind, my culture in mind. Like I'm representing all of those things. So I would say that like food that's made with love is good food. Like, you know, I mean, all food is necessary. So sometimes you just need something quickly. But I wouldn't consider that to be good food. Maybe it's just food that fills that gap in that point. We all sometimes, you know, get some quick fast food or something like that. I wouldn't necessarily say that's good food.
Sure.
But it does its job at the time. But then you can go to a restaurant where like they've taken their time.
Yeah.
And every bite is like, you know that someone's, you know, taken their time to make that food. So to me, that is good food.
100%. Is there a dish that everybody needs to try before they die?
Yeah, again, it's the same one. Use your hands. I don't want to see knife and fork or any spoons or anything like that. But fufu and okra, it's my favorite. So that's why I just preach that it needs to be tried.
Okay, cool. So yeah, thank you for being our guest today on the
problem.
Black Food Tales podcast.
Not a problem at all.
How can we find you? How can we reach you? Socials?
So yeah, social media, the Krio Kanteen. Just search us, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're there. You can just keep up to everything that we're doing on our website too, which is www.thekriyokanteen.com. But yeah, follow us on socials. As I say, it's the easiest way for us to connect with people. There's a lot coming up, so just keep in touch. And if I see you, let me know how you saw us, how you found out about us. Yeah, and I can't wait to see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you guys in the next episode.
Thank you very much. Bye.